What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing 3 looks using 3 of the new FENTY Snap Shadow palettes. These are, ooh, let me grab one, hold on. These are little miniature palettes with 6 colors in each. Each one has a theme, each one is numbered, and you can like buy 2 and snap them together and kind of create your own little custom setup. My initial plan was to buy 2 of them, and then I was going to go ahead and do 1 look with each and then 1 look combining the 2. But I asked you guys which ones you wanted to see on Instagram stories, and there was pretty much a dead tie between number 2 and number 6. So I wound up buying both along with number 7, which was the one that I absolutely wanted to try. So I'm going to do 1 look with each of these, and I figure we could always come back to them later and combine them if we decide we like them enough to do so. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking just a quick little just a second. Do that because it's very helpful to me and I would very much appreciate it. If you are lurking, if you're new around here and you haven't subscribed yet, you're just kind of been creeping around watching a few videos, go ahead and subscribe because you know what? You might as well. You're watching anyway, and I think it would be a great time and I would very much appreciate it. I would love to have you around. As always, all 3 looks will be timestamped below. I will list all of the other makeup that I use on the rest of my face in the description down below. Anything that you want to know is probably listed down there. That's all I have to say for now, so let's just get started. Look number 1 with the number 6 Smoky palette. I picked up, I knew I was going to get number 7, the one called Cadet, because that was the one that appealed to me the most. And then I asked you guys which ones you wanted to see as well, and the most answers I got were 2 and 6. So today we have 2, 6, and 7. 2 is Cool Neutrals, 6 is Smoky, and 7 is Cadet. I'm going to start by using number 6, the Smoky palette. Each one of these has the number corresponding to it. Like, it looks like it's spray painted on the front. Pretty cool. And the reason I'm going to use number 6, the Smoky palette, first is because I am going to make that one the most New Year's Eve appropriate in case you are looking for some New Year's Eve inspiration. I had a few questions about that, so I assume some of you are. This is what the outside packaging looks like, and this is what number 6 Smoky looks like on the inside. I'm going to go for tan lines. Picking it up by BH number 6 is going to start through the crease. That's applying really weird. That's very uneven and strange. Okay, hopefully this gets better as we go because that doesn't look good at all. I'm gonna blend the edge of that with a clean brush. I think that it'll be okay like once we blend other things into it. I just don't understand why it looks that way. It's weird. On a MAC 221, I'm gonna go into the shade Chestnuts. Yes, that one definitely applies better. I'm gonna grab a Sigma E36. And I'm going to go into the shade That Deep, which is matte black. It looks very, very rich, and I'm hoping we have a very good black on our hands here because it looks really good. I'm going to put that through the crease, and I'm also going to deepen up the outer and inner corner with that as well. Okay, whew, I think we're going to be all right. I'm going to grab a MAC 242S brush. I'm going to go into the bottom shade Second Date. Let's see how it applies dry, and then if we feel like we need to wet it, we will. It goes on pretty intensely dry, but I feel like it would be easier if it was wet, because it's not like spreading around my lid very easily, if that makes sense. I'm going to use my Sigma E36 and go into the black shade again. Just go right around the edge back through the crease just to blend that color into the mattes. That Second Date color is gorgeous. It looks like it has a little bit of blue shimmer and gold shimmer in there, and it makes it so much more interesting. You guys will see like in the close-ups and stuff, but okay, I like that one a lot so far. I hope you can see it on camera. I see the blue in the black, but I also see the gold shimmer. It's so much more interesting than it looks in the pan. Wow. Oh. Okay, Fenty. That's very cool. I concealed and powdered under my eyes. I'm kind of blown away by this Second Date shade and how much cooler it is once you apply it to the eye than it appears in that pan. I really thought it was just like a regular ass charcoal shade, and here we are with like blue and gold and shit going on. I'm very pleased. So I'm going to smoke out the lower lash line as well. I'm going to skip right over tan lines and go into Chestnuts because tan lines sucked ass. Doing that on my MAC 221 brush, I'm just going to start smoking out the lower lashes. I'm going to bring it nice and low because I want this to be a very bold smoky eye. I'm getting a lot of fallout with these shades as well. I did put down a lot of powder though, so we should be okay. I'm gonna take a pencil brush and I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of that deep, and I'm gonna smudge that in pretty close to the lash line. I'm gonna grab my LUXE 111 mini brush and I'm going to go into the shade You Up, which is the lightest shade right here. Pick some of that up and pop it on my inner corner. I look so crazy in the monitor right now. Just for some reason, I don't know, it looks like the biggest smoky eye of my life. Like, I really like it, but also it looks crazy, but I love it, but I look crazy. I still think it's gonna all come together and it's gonna be totally fine. And if you don't want your smoky eye to be this big and crazy, then by all means, you could shrink it down a little bit to your taste. Gonna pop some of that right on the inner corner. Now, to play up the New Year's Eve glamness of this, I go through the waterline with a bright gold pencil. This is one from a House of Lashes Sephora collab, which I don't think they make anymore, but it's very similar to the NYX Slide On pencil that's gold. I have that one, I can't find it right now, so I'm gonna use this. These pencils are actually super, super nice, and I feel like this collab got like pushed under the rug and nobody really even knew about it, and it was so good. For a fun little twist, instead of using black mascara on my lower lashes, I'm gonna paint them with a glittery gold liner. This is the Fenty Trophy Wife liner that came out recently. I actually really don't love this as an eyeliner. I think the brush is like way too chunky and it doesn't really, it just doesn't really work for me. But I'm thinking that it might do really well on lashes. I'm just gonna take the brush and just paint it over my lower lashes. If it looks really bad, we could just go over it with black and pretend this didn't happen. I actually got some of my skin on this side, so I'm gonna wait for it to dry and then touch it up with some more shadow. I'm also gonna pop some lashes on and we will add a lip to this look. I finished my skin, I put on House of Lashes Midnight Luxe, and I'm gonna be honest, now I'm very, very happy with this look, but I did have like a weird thing on this eye where it was like kind of like the color was picking up in chunks and I had to go back over it, so I don't know what the hell that's about. These shadows do blend really nice and most of them looked really pretty, but there's some strangeness to them for sure. To balance this look, I feel like the best bet is a very simple, easy, glossy lip. So since we're having a Fenty moment right now, I'm gonna pick up the original Fenty Gloss Bomb and we're just gonna use that to finish this look off. And this is the first look with the number 6 Smoky palette. For look 2, I'm going to be using number 7 Cadet. Now, the reason that I was so drawn to this one in particular was, first of all, just because these are like the most interesting shades in my opinion in any of these little palettes, but also because it reminds me of like a little bit more of a toned down version of the ABH Subculture palette. So my BH number 6, I'm going to go into the shade Take Cover. Start putting that through my crease area and I'm going to blend it toward my brow. I primed my eyes a little bit differently this time. I just used concealer because I figured that if the shadows were behaving a little bit weirdly in the first look, then maybe a different type of primer would be better. I'm gonna take my MAC 221 brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Glamo Camo, which is like this muted tealish gray sort of a shade. I'm gonna put that right through the crease and onto the outer corner of the lid. I'm not getting quite as good coverage with that through the crease. So I'm gonna pick up my Sigma E36 brush and use that because sometimes it's easier to get the crease to look even with a smaller brush. This shade is also giving me quite a lot of fallout. I'm also gonna take my makeup wipe and just wipe off a little bit of that color on the lid. I didn't really want that much of it on there, but because there's a lot of fallout, I got a little bit messy and went a little further than I wanted. I wasn't intending to make this a cut crease though, so I'd rather just clean it up and then softly put some concealer back down. I'm gonna take my MAC 242 brush and I'm gonna go into this kind of yellow ochre shade called She Salute. I'm going to pack that onto the inner portion where I cleaned it up with that concealer a little bit. I'm going to take that Sigma E36 brush. I'm not going to add any more product to it, but I'm just going to run it over the edge where those two meet to blend them together. Next, I'm going to go into this iridescent shimmer shade called Money Mission. Picking that up on my ring finger, and I'm just going to tap it over where the yellow meets the green. I'm a little torn because part of me kind of likes these because they're interesting and I'm having fun playing with them, but also a lot of these shades are kind of not performing that great. Like the yellow that I put on the inner section of the eyes, it looked good at first, but now it's like looking a little bit uneven as it settles in. Like it's like kind of like changing colors in some spots. And the shade Glamo Camo that I put through the whole crease and around the outside, it's like, I don't know, it looks a little bit patchy, and it's not even one of those situations where I'm seeing it on the camera and like seeing it look patchy but not seeing it in person. I am seeing it in person. Like I could see patchiness in here, and it's weird because it's like it'll be even when I put it down and then I look in a few minutes and it's patchy again. It's almost like these shadows are moving. I'm not in love. But we're going to carry on and we're going to make the best of it. So I'm going to go into this Olive Army Drab shade Fatigue. Picking that up on a pencil brush, I'm just going to start dragging that under my lower lash line. Ugh, I hope this color works because it's actually so nice. Wow, that is some fallout. Oh my. I'm going to go ahead and blend the edge of that with a clean brush. And already this is looking patchy again. What the fuck? I think what'll help bring this look together a little bit, considering that we have some patchiness and we could use like something to ground us down. I'm gonna do black in the waterline. This is the MAC TECHNAKOHL pencil in Graph Black. Just gonna run that right through the waterline and darken it up. Next, I'm going to take a pencil brush and I'm going to go back into the shade Money Mission. I'm going to wet it a little bit and I'm going to pop it on my inner corner. But I'm going to keep it to the lower half of the inner corner so it doesn't overlap too much onto that yellow, because then we'll lose that space where the yellow remained matte, if that makes sense. I put on House of Lashes Stella Luxe. I just touched up my skin from the last look. And I think that to bring this look together, because the patchiness is driving me crazy, it didn't come out exactly how I wanted it to, because the grayish green shade was so messy that it like wound up being a lot farther down on the lid than I was planning it. And the whole thing is just not what I wanted. And I think that when that happens, what you do is a little sleight of hand and you distract everybody with a really sick red lip. Because we know that Fenty does the best red lip of all time, and they kind of, quite frankly, need to redeem themselves right now, in my opinion, I'm going to use the Fenty Uncensored Lip Paint. And this is the second look with palette number 7, Cadet. Number 3, I've done a wardrobe change. It's the next morning. I'm fresh. I'm ready to go. When I looked back at the footage from the first two, it actually doesn't look as bad on camera as I felt like it was getting in real life. But what I have noticed with these shadows is that it's almost like they begin to disappear really quickly. Like within the time it took me to finish the look and then film the little clips where I do a close-up, a lot of the color that I had like buffed underneath my eyes, especially in the first really dark look, was like disappearing and looking patchy. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if maybe if I use the Fenty primer that it would be better, but I don't think that shadows should be only something that you could use with a specific primer, so that doesn't really excuse it. The third look is going to be with number 2, which is called Cool Neutrals, although it does have a color in there that is clearly not a neutral at all. It's very purple, and I'm excited to work with that one. I'm going to grab my BH number 6, and I'm going to go into the shade Wife It Up right in the center. I'm going to put that through the crease area and blend up toward the brow, the usual. You guys know the drill by now. I usually start every look pretty much the same and then see where it goes from there. Sometimes I see people start a look from like their lash line and I'm like, I wish that I could do that, because I don't know, every time I do, I always feel so confused. I'm just gonna blend the top of that with a clean brush. I'm gonna grab my BH number 7. I'm gonna go into the deepest shade, Getting Toasty. I'm gonna put that through the crease, keep it a little bit above my natural crease, and tuck it in on the lid as well. You know, again, the usual. And with the BH number 7, just pop it on the outer corner of the lid. I'm flicking that out into like a little bit of a pointy shape. I feel like that'll be more flattering in the end. I'm gonna grab my concealer and my NABLA cut crease brush, and I'm gonna cut the crease real quick, just the inner half. I'm gonna go into into the shade Hey Auntie on a MAC 242 brush. I'm gonna put this over most of the cut crease area that we made with the concealer, but I'm gonna leave the center open because I'm gonna brighten that up a little bit with a lighter shade. I'm gonna mix a little bit of that purple with a little bit of the gray we used and just tap them together and use that to bridge the gap between the center and the outer corner. I'm gonna grab a MAC 228 brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Upper Class. I'm gonna use that right here where I left that space open. And I'm actually gonna bring a little bit of that along the whole upper portion of the cut crease just to brighten that up and make it a little bit more defined between the gray and the actual cut crease. I'm also gonna go into the shade You There. I'm gonna pick a little bit of this up on my ring finger and I'm gonna press it in the center of the purple just to give it a little highlight. Then I'll go back over it with a little bit more of the purple on the MAC 242 brush. I'm concealed and powdered the fuck up. Kind of want to make this look overall a little bit more colorful. So for the lower lash line, I'm going to go out of my usual comfort zone and I'm going to do shimmer on the lower lash line. So I'm going to go right into the purple shade, which was called Hey Auntie. It's so difficult for me to say auntie because where I grew up, we say aunt. So I would say auntie. And I know that that's wrong, but like, it just feels right, and saying auntie feels so weird. I'm gonna run that underneath the whole lower lash line. For some reason, that color is burning my eyes. So I just want to point out, because this is what I was talking about before. When I first put this shade through my crease on my lid and onto the outer portion of the lid, it looked really smooth and it looked like it was blended. And now as I'm sitting here, I haven't blended back over this section and yet it still looks like some of that color is disappearing already. And even the purple, from the time I put it down, once I tried to blend it out, it looked patchy as hell now on the lower lash line. And it's very hard to make things look patchy on the lower lash line usually. For the waterline with this look, I want to do something fun. I saw a look by Mr. Daniel Makeup. If you don't follow him, he is the art director for NABLA Cosmetics and he posts some really beautiful looks. And he did this look, it was very different colors from this, but he did a very bright blue waterline with a very bright blue mascara on the lower lashes. And I thought it looked so cool. So I think that it'll look really, really pretty with the purples to do that on the waterline and the lower lashes. So I'm going to grab the Urban Decay Chaos Pencil and then I'm going to go over the lower lashes with the blue version of the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara. They're both like pretty much the same blue and that's exactly the type of blue I was looking for. Okay, I'm gonna go and add regular mascara on the top and put on some lashes. I don't know what kind of lip I'm gonna pair with this yet, but hopefully I'll think of something by the time I put on my lashes. So I put on House of Lashes Siren Doubles. I actually, at this point, really like the way this makeup turned out, regardless of the fact that I'm feeling like there's like a little bit of fading. For the lip, I feel like this would go really well with like a glossy mauve lip. So I'm gonna line my lips with the Romanticized Lip Pencil from NABLA. And I'm gonna top that with one of my favorite glosses. I've been breaking these back out lately. This is the BUXOM lip gloss, the full-on lip polish in the shade Dolly. This isn't necessarily one of my favorite shades of lip gloss. I do like this, but the BUXOM gloss is fantastic. And this is the third look with the Snap Shadows No. 2 Cool Neutrals palette. All right, let's talk about it. First of all, I feel like you guys will be really mad if I don't actually try snapping these together, so we're gonna see how this works. Okay, that was pretty easy. You basically just line them up facing the same direction and they snap together really easily. So conceptually, this is really, really cool. As far as the color layouts are concerned, they're really cool. The Smoky one, the first one that I used, the colors in here were so much more interesting than I thought they were going to be. That shimmer shade Second Date, oh my god, so beautiful. But there's just something about these shadows that blends really dusty. I don't know if that's a great description for what I'm experiencing, but it's like they blend really well, but you lose so much pigmentation while they're blending, and it's not the primer because I used 3 different versions of the way I usually prime my eyes. And it was like as if when I was blending, it was like falling onto other parts of my eye and like spreading too far. And then even in the short time that I was sitting here filming, it was like I'm losing pigmentation off of my eyes without even touching them. Like for example, I don't know how much you can see it on camera, but on this eye, like this whole corner looks lighter now than it did when I first applied it. I don't know why. I don't understand. It's definitely strange. I don't think I've experienced that exact problem with shadows before. They're not horrible, like they're not completely unusable, and some of the colors are pretty enough that I'll probably wind up reaching for them regardless of the fact that I'm having this little issue. But as far as Fenty shadows are concerned, considering that I love the Moroccan Spice palette, I'm a little disappointed to see that this is how they perform, because I had really high expectations. And quite frankly, although $25 for a mini palette isn't super expensive, it isn't cheap either for 6 eyeshadows. So do I feel like I love these? No, I'm not in love with them at all. I love the color stories in the ones that I purchased. There were a couple of color stories, specifically number 8, that I found extremely questionable. But I think the reason that I can let that go is because they're meant to be combined with the other ones to create your own custom color story. So it makes a little bit more sense that way. That one just was not for me though. But yeah, I love the concept and I was super stoked to play with these. But I don't think I love them quite as much as I have loved other Fenty products in the past. That being said, I don't hate them, and some of these looks came out a little bit fun. I just feel like it wasn't really my cleanest work, and a lot of times when my work doesn't come out as clean as usual, I'm like, oh, maybe it's me. Maybe I am doing something wrong. But this time I really felt like the shadows were causing a little bit of the issue more than I was. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you ordered any of these, if you tried them, what your thoughts were. Did you feel the same way? I would love to hear about it. Don't forget to just take your pinky finger and just slide on over to that like button and hit it real quick for me, because it's very helpful and I would really appreciate it. And also, if you're lurking, if you're new here, if you've watched a few videos and just haven't decided to commit to me yet, please go ahead and subscribe, because I would love to have you around for more videos. Just make the commitment. It's really not that big a deal. You know what's funny about that is that it isn't commitment at all, because you can unsubscribe at any time. Please don't unsubscribe. Don't ever do that. If you want to keep up with me between videos, you want to see other looks, you want to see behind the scenes, you want to see me unbox my PR packages, know it's coming here on this channel, take part in polls, answer questions, all sorts of fun shit, come find me on Instagram. I'm at Miss Quidface over there, and I would love to have you be a part of that little crew as well. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you. This will be the last video of 2019, so I hope you have a wonderful new year. Please be safe. Please have a good time, and I will see you in the next one.